In today's video is one that many of you requested, Kate Flower's Raw Day of Eating. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO, organic acid, stool tests and consult via my website. So if you have any health or digestive problems, then consider taking these tests, as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video. So the first thing that I want to say is that I know Kate has struggled with her mental health over the last couple of years, and it's great to see that she has proactively been working on this and taking some time out from YouTube. And I want to say absolute kudos to Kate for being open and transparent with her audience over these struggles. Obviously, diet can be a large piece of the mental health jigsaw, but mental health challenges can strike anyone regardless of how much kale you are eating or even how much you are exercising. 800,000 people every year globally commit suicide, and that is one person every 40 seconds or so. For meat eaters and non-meat eaters, the causes are wide and varying. Poor diet, alcohol, medications, microbiome insufficiency, gut infections, external stresses such as work or relationship problems, money worries, bereavements, nobody is immune from mental health problems.
Do you want to tell them about our tea?
Yes, we're drinking Dandelion Tea. This is a good coffee replacement. It's herbal, which means there's no caffeine.
He likes to pronounce the H on purpose.
It tastes a lot like coffee.
So if you guys haven't tried Dandelion Tea, you should try it because it's kind of our new obsession.
I've tried many herbal teas but never dandelion, so I will have to give that a whirl.
Okay, so we're having green juice, which I got off track on this for a while, but I got back on it and now I'm making him do it every day too, which is not his favorite thing.
I'm getting used to it.
When I make green juice, I make it really, really heavy on the greens and
Potent.
not so heavy on the sweet stuff.
Yes, green juices are an acquired taste. Some people love them, but for me, it's always been like drinking pond water.
I can't even, oh my gosh. It's like a 30-pound jackfruit.
She's a beaut, so jackfruit is not packed full of nutrition, but in a single cup there is reasonable levels of vitamin A, vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, copper and also manganese. And for protein and fibre, there is around 3 grams or so per cup.
Yeah.
This knife for this is like a joke. We need oil. We figured out that the only way to do this is with oil. Like oil on your hands, oil on the knife, because the jackfruit has...
It's very sticky.
Like latex almost. Don't mind me just oiling up my knife over here.
Slippery knife, what possibly can go wrong?
So this is from a local fruit farm. Don't try this at home. I'm like, my hands are slipping on this knife.
If there is an official phobia of watching other people use knives, then I think I have it.
First of all, we eat pretty much the same thing. Like we eat our meals for the most part together. So I think we pretty much eat similar things every day. The difference is that he's pretty much 100% no sugar.
Yeah.
No processed sugar.
I still do some fruit.
But I probably eat more fruit than you.
Yeah.
Other than that, we both don't have gluten because we found that there were certain things that helped with autism, and 4 of them, oh goodness.
No dairy.
No dairy, which was easy because you're already eating a plant-based diet. No gluten, no grains, and no sugar.
It's really good to see them being proactive around Martin's autism, and again, it's ace they have shared the autism conversation with Kate's audience. There have been many causes of autism that have been floated, from low birth weight, genetic disorders, viral infection, family histories, having parents who are older when they conceive, and even high levels of oxalates in diets. Despite these and many other theories, autism is still largely not very well understood.
And so then you have this big piece of fruit that had a seed in it, and you take all the little stringy things off. That's it. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I've just realised while watching this that I've never eaten raw jackfruit. It's always been with a hot sauce or something similar. So if you've tried raw jackfruit, then let me know what I'm missing out on in the comments below.
Maybe it's like bubblegum.
Okay, I guess this is breakfast. Does this count as breakfast?
I guess so.
Okay.
So much jackfruit. I finished mine a minute ago and he is almost done.
Mine's a lot bigger than hers is, so that's why I'm still going.
How long do you think this took us?
Probably around like 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, this has been a project. So we got jackfruit for days now.
So I don't know how much they've consumed exactly from what they've shown on camera, but 1 cup of jackfruit is around 155 calories or so. So I will assume that they ate around 500 calories or so each.
We do not have what we need to make the lunch that we want to make and the dinner that we want to make, so we're heading to the grocery store and I've made us some smoothies to go. Alright, so in these smoothies we've got homemade almond milk, spinach, frozen bananas, frozen blueberries, omega-3 supplement that I take every single day, hemp seeds, protein powder, and also some water to blend it up.
Smoothies are great, but you need to be super careful with a lot of spinach in them. The studies that are available suggest that anywhere from 1 to 3% of oxalates a healthy person will consume will get into their bloodstream. Also from the literature, it appears that an oxalate excretion rate greater than 25 milligrams per day puts you at an increased risk of kidney stones. Now, a lot of the digestion and absorption rate of oxalates is very much dependent on the state of your microbiome. A good diverse range of bacteria in the colon and less oxalates get through into the bloodstream, and low levels of beneficial flora and much more is getting through. Now, there are clearly other variables as well, such as the amount of soluble and insoluble oxalate that you are consuming, but let's just simplify things here. So let's just say a smoothie with a couple of handfuls of spinach, some nuts and seeds, some beets and some fruit to sweeten it, then the oxalates from the spinach, etc. are coming in at around 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams, and that's just from the smoothie alone. And that obviously doesn't take into account any other meals throughout the day. Do that consistently and you can see how kidney stones are going to quickly form in some people. Now, I don't know how often Kate and Martin are routinely consuming smoothies like this, but if it's frequently, then I would strongly urge them to cut down on the oxalates. And it would also be interesting to see if they were consuming a lot of oxalates, then whether there would be any improvement with Martin's autism if they cut down. While there is fairly limited evidence in this area, oxalate concentrations tend to be much higher in individuals with autism. Now, this isn't cause and effect, and clearly oxalates don't directly cause autism, but may be worth Martin reducing his oxalate intake if he is being exposed to a lot.
So we've actually been eating mostly raw food lately. I've been eating pretty much 100% raw food, and he's been eating mostly raw with some quinoa. That's pretty much it, right?
Look, I think it's going to be no real big surprise that I'm never going to be a big advocate of raw diets. If you can do them healthily and you're getting sufficient nutrition, then amen. But me personally, as a nutritionist, I've seen too many people struggle on this type of dietary pattern.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's been a long time since I've eaten completely raw. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you know that I personally feel my best when I'm eating mostly raw food. I'm not here to tell anybody else what to do with their life, but that's a real thing for me. And I've just not been able to get the discipline or the habits or whatever it is that motivates me to just eat mostly raw. I have not been able to do that for quite some time now. So I would say for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks I've been eating all raw food and I feel so much better.
This is really good to hear that Case is feeling good eating this way, but my question would always be, better than what? If you're eating cooked potatoes or other cooked foods and you are not feeling your A game, then what is going on? Now, I have no idea if Kate has any digestive issues or other problems that are not allowing her to feel better with cooked foods, but it is slightly strange that Kate has to eat raw to feel optimal. But anyway, let's move on.
Since it's such a beautiful day, I wanted to spend as much time outside and in nature as possible, so I decided we'd have a little lunch picnic. I made us a really large salad with romaine, cucumber, tomato, avocado, and hemp seeds. And then the dressing is called Vitamin Boost, and it's from my Sauce Queen ebook. You should never ever eat a boring salad. Salads can be so delicious with the right dressing. This one has almond butter, tahini, hemp seeds, nutritional yeast, kelp granules. It's full of nutrition and it's so incredibly delicious. If you guys want to check out my Sauce Queen ebook, I will link it down below for you with the special discount code. And if you're eating mostly raw like I am, you'll be happy to know that 34 out of the 48 recipes are 100% raw and super easy to make.
Look, I'm a big fan of salads, but that salad, even with almond butter, tahini, hemp seeds and nutritional yeast, is not sufficient for both Kate and Martin, and I will break apart the numbers in a short while.
Raw, vegan, sugar-free, blueberry, cheesecake. It takes about 2 hours in the freezer to set all the way, so I'm making it before dinner. And it makes 2 little mini cheesecakes, but I have the full recipe up on the Freedom Food Instagram page, so I'll link that down below if you guys want the full recipe for that. But instead of any added sugar, there is a little bit of dates in the crust and a little bit of blueberries, obviously. But then we use monk fruit, which is a nice sugar-free alternative. It's my favorite in terms of flavor. I like it better than stevia. Super, 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 super easy to make.
Yep, I like those. They look very tasty.
If you're lazy like me, you'll make it a lot more than you like to admit. So I'll show you guys these when we're ready to eat them. Okay, for dinner we are making raw lasagna. I made this for Freedom Food 1 ebook and the recipe is in there, so you can get it there. I love this recipe. It was inspired because I went to a raw food restaurant for the first time ever in like 2009 in New York City, and I got their raw lasagna and I thought it was the best thing I'd ever had. I was like, this is so fresh and delicious, and it was one of the first times I'd ever had raw food.
Not had raw lasagna of any type, so it'll be super interesting to see how this all comes together.
So, super inspired by that, so I made my own version of it, and now I'm just gonna layer it and put our dinner together. So I make these zucchini slices really super thin, like mandolin style. Also, I've never made it for him, so
This is my first time having it.
It'll be his first time. Okay, so we've got a layer of ricotta cheese. Obviously, it's not cheese at all. It's a raw vegan cheese made with cashews and nutritional yeast and zucchini and some spices. The pesto is made of spinach, basil, hemp seeds. Super simple. This really doesn't, it looks complex, but honestly, making a regular lasagna would take a lot longer.
Seems super simple. Slight concern though, with more spinach going into that day of eating.
All 3 of these were made in a food processor.
We made it in like what?
20, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And then this is a marinara layer, which has sun-dried tomatoes, regular tomatoes, mushrooms, herbs, spices. Smells like pizza in my dream raw vegan world. And I'm just gonna layer this up and then I will show you guys the finished product. I mean, I'll try to add in the good shot here because I think I got some good footage of it, but is this not like a gorgeous work of art?
It does look really nice. Me personally though, that would be a starter and not so much a main meal. That is me though, I tend to do very well on starches and higher calorie foods, but as I said earlier, if it is working for Kate and Martin and they are getting sufficient nutrition and calories, then great.
Oh my god. That's actually really good.
Actually.
That's how you know it's a real reaction.
Tastes like legit lasagna, but not the kind of lasagna that makes you have to take a nap afterwards.
Oh shit, that is really good. So this is delicious.
Yeah.
I hope those of you who have Freedom Food 1 just make it.
Should make it.
Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay. I'm gonna turn off the camera so you can eat, and then I'm really excited to show you our finalized dessert.
Look, I always do feel a bit of a hypocrite in making these types of response videos, as I have never eaten raw for a day, and a few of you have picked me up for this, snaking out on a diet that I've never even tried. So if you want me to eat this way for a day and try and get sufficient calories and nutrition, then let me know in the comments below.
Alright guys, this is the finished product. We just got back from a nice long walk. The cheesecake is ready, and these are like the miniest, tiniest little slices of cheesecake that you will ever see. So we get a little plate or bowl and we just put in our tiny little slice of cheesecake, but we will eat this entire thing in one night, no problem. They're so baby! I'm so glad that it's been so nice out. We got to spend so much time outside today. We have been experimenting with finishing eating early in the day. I've done it quite often on and off throughout the years, but not consistently lately, so today is our second day where we're trying to stop eating by 6 p.m.
I would say that's a great goal for most people. Your metabolism will truly thank you for eating at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. Eating later in the evening can impede metabolic function in some people and cause a number of problems with insulin and glucose levels over the night period while you are sleeping.
For no other reason than we feel better. Wake up feeling better with more energy, so that is why we're having our dessert while it's still light out. I'm too short.
Yeah.
Alright guys, before we close out this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching it. It really means a lot to both of us. Thank you so much for all your sweet, loving comments on our last video. We looked through a lot of them. He read through almost all of them, and they just meant so much to us.
Super sweet.
And now we just get to enjoy the rest of the evening together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. And please like it, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Follow us on Instagram if you want to. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon.
Nice video, and they seem really cool people. So let's just have a quick total up of that day of eating. So Kate is around 32 years old, 1.68 meters in height, and based on her profile of being fairly active, then I would say that she needs around 1,996 calories per day. For this day of eating, I think that Kate ate around 2,242 calories, plus or minus maybe 100 or 200 calories either way. In terms of macros, Kate was a little low on recommendations for carbs, but in terms of protein, she was okay, and her predominant macro for the day was fat. In terms of carbs, Kate hit around 31 grams of fiber, which is just above the recommendations, and in terms of lipids, we can say a few different things. So because of the amount of nuts and coconut oil, etc., Kate was slightly above the daily recommendations at around 23.2 grams. In the grand scheme of things, this is an isolated day of eating, so it doesn't really tell us anything of great use. In terms of healthy monounsaturated fats and omega-3s and 6s, Kate hit a fairly decent level, although her omega-3 and 6 ratio was skewed at around 7:1 in favour of omega-6s. Again, just to reiterate though, this is an isolated day of eating, so it's not possible to draw any meaningful conclusions. In terms of minerals and trace minerals, generally good across the board, although maybe on the low side for both chloride and also iodine. Again, I don't know if Kate is supplementing with iodine, so it's difficult to comment. In terms of vitamins, vitamin A was low, as was vitamin C. Everything else from vitamin E to folate was generally okay. In terms of a quick macronutrient analysis, around 30% of Kate's calories come from carbs, around 14% or so from protein, and around 56% from fat. So in summary, it was an okay day of eating, and maybe slightly on the low side for a couple of key nutrients, and also maybe slightly on the lower side for protein. If we are comparing this day of eating to current recommendations and guidelines, I would say that carbs were on the low side, fats were on the high side, and also proteins were slightly on the low side. Final thoughts from me. As many of you know, I'm not the biggest fan of raw diets. As a nutritionist, I see a fair few people who struggle with this type of eating pattern. That being said, it appears that Kate is doing okay on this diet, although if this day of eating is indicative for a normal day for Kate, then I would say that there are some areas of the diet that need adjustment. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.